Last year, Jay, you go into the tournament and you have some health. I've watched you play 4 times this year. You don't have one of your guards, Phil Booth. He's been hurt. You don't have Darrell Reynolds. He's been hurt. You're playing about 6 guys. So now you go into the tournament this year. I don't even know what you are. I know what Kansas is. Do you know what your team is? Because you're kind of playing with 6 guys.
Yeah, you know what, Colin? You're right. I do have a feeling, though. You know, we have Darrell Reynolds has been out for 5 games. So with Darrell Reynolds out, Eric Pascal has really stepped up. Phil Booth has been out the whole year, and Dante DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges have really stepped up. So I think we're going to get Darrell Reynolds back this week. With him out, we also have a young freshman, Dylan Painter, who has stepped up. I feel like we can go into this final regular season game at Georgetown Saturday with 8 guys. I don't know how much practice we'll have together yet, but then go into the Big East tournament with 8 guys, and we have a shot to be a fresh team 8 deep.
You know, it's interesting.
That doesn't sound like we really know what it is, though, does it?
Well, I mean, listen, attrition is a big part of this whole world we live in. I mean, LeBron will get to a final and he'll lose Kevin Love or Kyrie Irving, and sometimes you got to wing it. Now, I hate the word luck. But as you look back at last year, you were good. You were well coached. You had veterans. How much of it was just seeding, we stayed healthy? Do you kind of can you admit now that some of it, even for the Izzos, for the Coach K's, sometimes you get breaks? Did you feel you got a couple that helped you last year?
Definitely. And years prior, I thought we played great and had some rough breaks. We played a North Carolina State game the year before. They were an 8 seed. They had beaten Duke at Duke. They had beaten Louisville at Louisville. They blew out Carolina. So we were playing a team as an 8 seed that was off the charts when they played well, and they beat us. Last year, I thought one of the most fortunate breaks we got was playing Oklahoma in the Final Four semifinal game when they had beaten us earlier by 23 points.
Yeah, blew you out.
So, when do you ever, if you get beat that bad by somebody, first of all, you don't even get to the semifinal. But then when you get there, you get to play that team. So when you get to a Final Four, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. But then you get a team that beats you by 23, they can't think that much of you, and you know you better step it up to another level. I thought that was the best break we got.
You got Darrell Reynolds, Jenkins, Josh Hart, all seniors, winningest class in Villanova history. You don't face the one-and-done stuff as much as other people. And here's what's interesting. I know you're going to end your career in Villanova, but if somebody came to you and you went to a Kansas or a Kentucky where you'd probably be more capable of getting one-and-doners, I wonder that now you're a little like Mark Few at Gonzaga, where you've got some NBA guys, but you don't get the 5-star guys. Your style allows for growth. You get a more mature player. If you could get one-and-dones, 3 a year, now what you've lived through, would you want them?
If they were the right guys, Colin, yes. We've got to find guys that fit our culture, guys that They want to get an education. We have a 100% graduation rate, which we're very proud of.
Wow.
For all of our 4-year guys. Every 4-year guy has been graduated on time. But like a guy like Kyle Lowry, who was a first-round pick after 2 years. Michael Bradley was a first-round pick, 7th pick after 3 years. He came back and finished his degree. Kyle's putting together his program to finish his degree. If it's the right guy, we would definitely want him. Like a guy like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who went to Kentucky. He was a Philly kid. It came down to us in Kentucky. We would have loved to have him, and he would have fit perfectly, but we just have to find the right guys.
You know, it's funny. You coached out West, and when I was a kid, the East was tougher. The Big East teams, the coaches look like they get into fistfights. It's just tougher. There is something to be said, the Eastern basketball culture against the Western culture. Now, I love Gonzaga, and Arizona's really good this year. But you have recruited players out West and out East. Is there some validity? Because my belief has always been these Eastern teams are a little grittier. Is it the weather in Philadelphia? You push them academically. I don't know what it is. But having coached all these kids and recruited all these kids, Villanova, when I say Villanova, I think, they play defense and they're tough kids. That's your culture to me. They're tough and they play real defense. Is some of that just where you live, the geography of it?
I think it is part of it. And what you refer to, the West Coast, East Coast cultures it was really strong, and there was a clear differential. But the AAU scene now in the summer, where these kids play against each other all spring and all summer, and they know each other so well, I think it's getting diluted. It's more similar now, the East and West Coast, because they play against each other. You look at Alonzo Ball at UCLA. I remember watching his AAU team with his brothers play in the summer against some East Coast teams, and there wasn't the difference. They all know each other so well, and they've played against each other since they were 8 years old. It's not that much of a difference anymore.
You're tied for the most wins, 10 against RPI top 50. You've never ducked people. You like tougher schedules. And for the record, you're not the only coach that does, but that's part of your culture. You like to play good teams. You want to get in tournaments and play good teams. It obviously paid off last year. You've got, this year, you've got veterans. You got RPI wins. I would argue you're actually should have a better chance to win than last year. Do you feel some confidence? Does the win last year help you a little bit as a roster?
It does, Colin. The NCAA tournament is such a unique experience. One of the hardest things to do is when you bring a team into the NCAA tournament for the first time. No matter how talented they are, it's so different. The pressure's so different that it can really negatively affect you if you haven't been there before. The greatest strength you can have in that NCAA tournament is having been there before, be in those tight situations, see all the distractions around you, understand all the expectations. I think our three seniors are used to that, and I think that can be an advantage for us.
Yeah. Jay Wright, number 2 in the AP poll, national champ. He's been a 2-time national coach of the year. He's got a book out, Attitude, Develop a Winning Mindset on and off the court. Jay Billis, at my former employer, used to always tell me, listen, about 8 teams can win this thing. He goes, don't buy into this sleeper stuff. There's about 8 teams that can win it. You're obviously one of the teams. Okay, I ask you this every time I have you on. There's a team that's going to be a 7 seed or an 8 seed. And we in the media aren't talking about them. But you watch tape of everybody. So is there a team, I ask you this every time, is there a team that's going to end up in this tournament that nobody's paying attention to, that you would rather not play, that you've seen them on tape or in person and they're asleep? Because all my fans watching, they're going to fill out their bracket in a couple of weeks and they're trying to find that team.
I think each year, let's look at last year. I think there was and we're an example, there was a large number of teams that had a chance to win it last year. There wasn't one power team. And I think this year there's even more. And I think we're heading in this direction. It's going to be more this way. And I look at teams that play in tough conferences that have had little ups and downs but have been tough all year. Like I look at a team like Michigan State, who was really playing well here at the end of this year. They had some injuries, a lot of young guys playing, but they're a totally different team at the end of the year. I look at Virginia, who had a great season, had a little struggle, just beat Carolina. They're coming on. I look at a team like Duke that had a lot of injuries. They're just getting to be the best they can be at this point in the year. Those kind of teams are teams that can get hot in the tournament and win it.
All right, the new book, Attitude, Develop a Winning Mindset on and off the court. One of the good guys, a guy I could not be happier for. Jay, you know I love talking to you. I root for you, and I try not to root for certain teams, but I may be out here in L.A., but I'm a Nova fan forever as long as you're there, and I wish you the very, very best.
You're the man. We love you, too. Your namesake, my son, is 23 years old now, man. Just tell you how long it's been, buddy.
Is he smart and handsome?
Smart and handsome.
Yeah.
Got a great job, man.
Oh, he does.
Just like you.
Yes. How about that?
Man.
Hey, good talking to you, Coach.
You too, buddy.
All right, Jay Wright.